Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
High School, a breezy Tuesday evening, a big one in the Northwest Suburban Conference and in Section 5 4A. Two of the top teams in both of those entities battling it out here tonight as the Rebels of Champlin Park are hosting the Centennial Cougars along with Joe Ruland. I'm Jim Erickson. These teams have played outstanding games in the past here, the past few years. They've always been really good matchups, and you've got two of the top teams in both the conference and the section. And when you look at the conference and the section here, Joe, it's really wide open. There are 4 or 5 teams that could basically contend for both of those titles here this season.
Yeah, it may be a little chilly tonight in the air for a little while longer, but it will not lack the intensity and the heat of this rivalry between these two squads. These two teams, just of many that are having some great seasons to start the way, and we got to look at our starting lineups here as we begin with Centennial and their starters.
Yeah, the Cougars 5-3, 4-1. Last year were 14-10. You see Peyton Corbin will lead it off, followed by Welly, Seidenkranz, Cochran, O'Connell, Gilmore, Renslow, Hemming, and Arndt. And they'll face Marissa Rothenberger. Both these teams use multiple pitchers, Joe. Champlin Parks use 3 different pitchers. Centennials use 2 different pitchers, but both teams going with their number ones tonight.
Yep, and Riley O'Connell, she comes in pitching 6 games this year, 4-2 on the season, an ERA of just 2.21. 52 strikeouts and just 16 walks. Teams are just averaging 185 when she is on the mound in terms of hitting.
And there you see the Rebels out in the field, and they'll have Marissa Rothenberger, their number 1. This young Champlin Park team, they do not have a senior in their starting lineup, and their starting pitcher is a sophomore, Marissa Rothenberger. 2-2 on the season, 0.97 earned run average, 29 innings pitched. She's given up 8 runs, just 4 earned, 17 hits. But the number that really sticks out when you look at Rothenberger, the sophomore pitcher for Champlin Park, 30 strikeouts and only 2 walks given up here this season, Joe. She has outstanding control, and Coach Brian Woodley tells me that she's got the full allotment of pitchers. Whether it's a fast pitch, or it's the fastball, or it's the drop ball, it's the screwball, it's the curve, it's the rise ball. She's got the full repertoire.
Yeah, definitely the portfolio there. And also teams are just hitting 143 against her so far this season. And just impressive numbers. You mentioned the 30 strikeouts. And just the 2 walks, but I'll tell you, stingy across the board and quite a selection of pitches, a record of 2-2 as you mentioned, so it's going to be exciting to watch these two tonight. Runs, I think, are going to be a premium.
Champlin Park will take the field, and Centennial, we mentioned 5-3, 4-1 on the season here for the Cougars. They open up the season with a 5-1 loss to Stillwater. Then rattled off 3 wins in a row over Blaine. Osseo scored 19 runs at Osseo. A close win over Coon Rapids. They edged the Cardinals 3-2. Then they lost to Maple Grove 11-1. The defending section conference champs beat Armstrong 9-3. Lost to STMA 14-5, and they're coming off a win in their most recent game on Saturday, 5-1 non-conference, non-section against Lakeville South. For the Centennial Cougars in that victory on Saturday against Lakeville South. They had 11 hits. O'Connell was the winning pitcher. Corbin went 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. Seidenkranz had a big game, 3 for 3. Arndt added 2 RBIs, and Cochran added an RBI in that game for Centennial as well. And they'll start it out here against Marissa Rothenberger. It'll be the junior center fielder, Peyton Corbin, 381 hitter, 8 for 21 on the season, a homer, 5 runs batted in. And with that home run, the Centennial Cougars, both these teams have multiple home runs on the season. And we could see some tonight. That wind is blowing out the left.
It is. Pitchers are going to have to keep it down knee high and get some movement.
Rothenberger's first pitch of the game is outside.
Centennial comes in hitting a team average of 289. You mentioned multiple home runs, 4 for Centennial thus far.
1-0 pitch here. Rothenberger to Corbin off the hand. A little blooper right side of the infield. First baseman Kaluza tossed to first. Not in time. Infield hit. Just a little bloop. The spin. Tough to play for the infielder. And Peyton Corbin with a leadoff hit, her 9th hit of the season.
Kind of a billiards spin on that thing as good rotation. Just got under it and unable to come up with a clean at first. By the time she did, Corbin already on first base.
Maddie Welly, the shortstop, senior, left-handed swinger, will step in here. Slap swing, goes the other way, out of play. Welly 364, 8 hits, 22 at-bats, no home runs, and 2 runs batted in here for the Centennial Cougars.
She also leads the team so far this season with an on-base percentage of .440. Clutch to have as a number 2 hitter.
1 strike here. Rothenberger to Welly, takes it for a strike. Throw down to first, but it's on the third base side, and Corbin is in on a stolen base. Runner at second, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes here to Welly with Kendall Seidenkrantz, the left fielder, on deck here for Centennial. These teams, when they played last year, was 7-5 Champlin Park in the season opener, but then Centennial beat the Rebels 1-0 in the section playoffs. 0-2 pitch here to Rothenberger. Slap swing off the glove of Rothenberger will have no play. Everybody's going to be safe. Corbin to first. Welly's on at first. Official score. What are you going to give her on that?
I will probably give her a hit. She had to reach for it. Coming back in, try to change direction, and they'll give a hit. She reaches. Again, as I mentioned, Welly came in a .440 on-base percentage, and that stolen base for Corbin was her 4th of the season, one of the team leaders in that category. That allowed her to get to third and advance.
So the Cougars threatening here, first and third, nobody out for their number 3 hitter, Kendall Seidenkrantz. Run goes, throw down to third, and that's the first and third play with the catcher going to third automatically. And the pitch was a ball, 1-0 here to Seidenkrantz. She hits .429, leading Centennial in hitting, 9 hits, 21 at-bats. No home runs and 6 runs batted in. So runners now at second and third. Defensive indifference on that Welly move to second. Hit sharply to third, bobbled by Rimler. They'll tag the runner out there, it looked like. Runner comes in. No, everybody's safe. And now runner going to second and out there as the tag looked high. And it looked like the runner was going to sneak in there, Seidenkrantz, but she is thrown out. So all kinds of things to unpack here, but Centennial's taking a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, initially it would be an error at third on the play on the attempt to come up clean with a hard hit ground ball. There was just some indecisiveness there. I don't think they could read whether or not the umpire had called her out on that tag running from second to third.
No, I didn't know either.
There was some hesitation, and yeah, in the meantime, tag with the runner out. We got a time here as they reset. You mentioned that wind blowing out. I'm not sure what Vegas has for the over-under for our camera person in center field. Maybe getting deflected or anything.
Well, up here, what I saw earlier, he did wear the body armor, so I think he's prepared. Welly's at third. Corbin came in to score. 1 down on the throw out at second base.
Yeah, he's got a look out in center. Boom.
And the batter is Cochran. And the first 2 pitches were balls. That one is a strike. It's 2-1. Cochran hitting .304 in the 4 spot. 7 hits, 23 at-bats. No homers and 7 runs batted in. Runner at third. A run in here for Centennial. 1 down. And the pitch is on the outside corner. Home plate umpire's got a delayed strike call here, which that's his prerogative.
That is.
We just have to be patient.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. And a good pitch, great location.
Here's the delivery, swing and a miss. And that'll even the count here at 2-2, 1-0 Centennial. Top of the first, sun kind of darting in and out of the clouds here this evening.
Rothenberger that time walked the ladder up top.
The drop ball this time bounces it foul, and it stays 2-2. We did have a brief rain shower, hour and a half before game time here today. And that settled the dust down a little bit. No need to water down the infield dirt. Absolutely no dust here at this point. So perfect conditions, albeit a little chilly and a little breezy.
Coming into the game, as we mentioned, Rothenberger, the pitcher for Champlin Park. 4 quality starts, 4 game starts, and 4 complete games.
Strike 3 on 2-2.
Punched out.
And Cochran goes down looking, 2 down. Rothenberger picks up the strikeout, her 31st of the season. 2 down. Runner Welly remains at third. Rothenberger trying to keep the damage to a minimum here in the top of the first. With 1 run in, runner at second, 2 down for the pitcher Riley O'Connell, the junior. First pitch from Rothenberger. Rears back, delivers inside. Ball 1. O'Connell, 333 on the season. 6 hits, 18 at bats. Does have a home run and 3 runs batted in. Has added a triple here this season as well. Hits this one sharply off the angle of Rothenberger, but right to first base off her ankle. So that's going to be 1-3.
Kick save and a beauty.
To get O'Connell. And Riley is retired, and that keeps the damage to a minimum here for Champlin Park versus Centennial. They do get 1 run, couple of hits, 1 error, and they leave a runner at third. 1/2 inning here at Champlin Park High School. Centennial 1, and the Rebels coming up, Joe.
Well, we'll see if Centennial, if that comes back to haunt them. Runners at second and third, no outs, and they just push the 1 run across. A great job. Look here, we get a look at Champlin Park and the Rebels in their batting order here for tonight. We say tonight because we're under the lights.
Yeah, it's an evening start here this evening at Champlin Park High School.
The Rebels start up with Amanda Kottsmith as the leadoff hitter. Hannah Husam as well. She's in left field, batting second. Ava Parent in center field, along with Reese Rimler at third base at cleanup. Ava Abrahamson at the number 5 spot, and then Marissa Rothenberger is the pitcher, followed by Addie Andrews in right field, and then Lauren Heltemus at second base, and Posma rounds out that batting order for the Rebels.
And you see in the field here for Centennial, Riley O'Connell in the middle of the infield in that circle on the rubber, 4-2, 2.21 ERA, 38 innings pitched, 22 runs, 12 of them earned. She's had 10 of those runs unearned, so maybe some fielding issues behind her here early in the season against Centennial, coming in at 4-2 on the season. She has all 6 of their decisions, 27 hits, 52 strikeouts, 16 walks. It's her 3rd season with Rick Thomas in Centennial. Started her career at Moundsview and actually pitched for Moundsview as an 8th grader, and then came in as a freshman and is now a junior. This Champlin Park team we mentioned coming to the plate, not a single senior in their starting lineup. Centennial's pretty young as well. They do have 4 seniors in their batting order as well. It'll be Seidenkrantz, Corbin, and Gilmore in the outfield here tonight for the Centennial Cougars.
The Rebels come in with a team batting average of .297 and an on-base percentage of .353, 3 home runs on the season.
Amanda Kottsmith will lead it off here. 1-0 Centennial in the bottom of the first inning.
I don't
Rebels
expect a lot of pitching changes, by the way, Jim. Both of these pitchers have thrown complete games.
Yep.
6 for 6 here tonight for O'Connell. 6 games, 6 complete games.
Which isn't odd to see in fast pitch softball. That's complete games are much more, I don't know, arbitrary stat compared to baseball. They just don't matter as much. Kottsmith, Hewsome, and Parent here in the bottom of the first inning. O'Connell rears back and delivers it up high. 1 ball the count. Champlin Park 4-2 on the season, 3-2 in the conference, 16-8 last year. As they were, both of these teams are in Section 5-4A. Maple Grove, the defending section champion. They've got a good team again, but a number of teams are vying. Right now, Rogers is the undefeated team in the section. There's a called strike, 1-1.
Yep. And, hey, yesterday I was telling you I had a chance to stop by and see the Andover and Anoka game. At Andover, an impressive game to watch, 4-2 win for Andover. They're off to a 6-0 start and also undefeated in conference play.
1-1 is at the knees.
They play Champlin Park here tomorrow night.
Yeah, the Rebels with a busy week this week. It's a 4-game week. Andover tomorrow, Thursday Elk River, Friday at Brainerd. 1 ball, 2 strikes, swing and a miss. And Kottsmith goes down swinging. Strikeout number 53 on the season for Riley O'Connell in 38+ innings pitched now. And we have 1 down. Here's Hannah Hewsome. Hewsome, 526, leading the Rebels in scoring coming in. 10 hits, 19 at-bats, no home runs, and 4 runs batted in.
Left-handed hitter here, kind of sprays it, but can go yard if need be. And that wind, as we mentioned, blowing out tonight.
And she'll take low and away on the first pitch from Riley O'Connell. Ball 1.
That's what you'll see from O'Connell. You mentioned the whole portfolio of pitches, but the key is that she keeps that ball low.
O'Connell doesn't quite have the same number of pitches as Rothenberger has. Here's a little bunt right in front of O'Connell. Throw to first. Got her. Close play at first, and Hewsome is out, 2 down.
Tight. Maybe a half a step. Getting the speedster Hewsome for that second out.
Bring up Ava Parent. Yeah, Rick Thomas was telling me that O'Connell's got the drop ball. She's got the change. She's got the fastball. Doesn't have the screwball like Rothenberger has. But she can put some movement on it here with 2 down, nobody on. 1-0 Centennial. Ava Parent, 400 hitter on the season. 2 home runs with 7 runs batted in. Takes a big cut there at a high fastball. And it's strike 1 here to the junior center fielder, Ava Parent.
Yeah, 18 total bases. As you mentioned, leads the team in RBIs and also stolen bases with 3.
And has a triple on the season here as well. Bases are empty with 2 down. And the 1 strike offering, it's a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Good start here for Riley O'Connell, the right-handed pitcher for Centennial.
On a cold night, it always helps having a pitcher around the plate. And plus, when she comes inside, hitters are unable to extend those hands.
Here comes the 0-2. And she takes it high. Good eye. Lays off that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Champlin Park last year in the section, they eventually lost to Spring Lake Park in the elimination bracket. Spring Lake Park then eventually lost to Maple Grove. Changeup in the air to center. Corbin. And it's actually the second baseman, Arndt, and it's off her glove and in. That'll be a bloop base hit. It was too far in for Corbin to get it, and Arndt, the second baseman, was out and off her glove, but the base hit for Parent. 2-out base runner for Champlin Park.
Just beyond her reach, had the hitter right on her front foot, but she kept that bat head back. Nice job of hitting there by Parent to extend that at bat and get the barrel on it.
Reese Rimler, the junior third baseman, gets a chance to bat. Batting cleanup here. Trying to get that bat going here. 1-11, and she goes the other way into right field for a base hit. 2 2-out hits, a single by Parent. And now Remler, both to the outfield, too. That's something Centennial didn't do in the top of the first inning. They scored the run, had 2 hits, but none of them went to the outfield. A couple of outfield base hits for Champlin Park, Parent and Remler. And now a 2-out threat, first and second for Ava Abrahamson.
Remler did such a great job of keeping her hands inside the ball that time on that base hit and found a knock between first and second.
Abrahamson is the designated player, freshman, hitting for Aaron Caluza, who's the first baseman for Champlin Park. First pitch from O'Connell is called a ball, 1-0. Abrahamson, 211 average, 4 hits, 19 at bats, a homer, and 1 run batted in.
Well, you can see O'Connell can bring some velo when she needs to. That can help with that home run production if you're a hitter. Just get the bat head out there.
1-0 pitch misses inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
Fierce wind blowing out. Just that much more evident to keep that ball inside on the hitters and very much low.
Rothenberger, the pitcher, is on deck with bat if Abrahamson can extend the inning. And there's a strike called. Getting it across is O'Connell on the 2-0. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Look here. Let's see what they can produce here with maybe a big 2-out hit by the Rebels.
Parent on second. Rimler is on first. The other way down the line. That's going to be a hit. Maybe extra bases. It'll score at least 1. And the throw quickly comes in from the right fielder, Gilmore. We're tied at 1. Back-to-back hits, all with 2 outs, and Abrahamson picks up her second run batted into the season. And then with the throw going to home plate, she ends up at second base, and we're tied at 1.
Hey, you know what? She delayed. She didn't go right away to second. Just kind of waited to see what Centennial was going to do and how they were going to handle it. And finally, she took a late base to second, and just hitting 211. But that's a big-time base hit down the first base line with 2 outs to tie this up 1-1.
And now the pitcher, Rothenberger, a chance to help herself out. Runners in scoring position, second and third, tied at 1. Takes the first pitch on the inside part of the plate, strike 1. Rothenberger Good average, 6 for 16. That equates to .375 on the season. Sophomore pitcher steps back in with a 1-strike count to O'Connell to the plate. Swing and a miss, busted her in and low. Tough pitch there, 0-2.
Over top of that pitch, Rothenberger also not only an impressive batting average, but an on-base percentage of .444 this season.
0-2 with 2 down. Tied at 1 and a swing and a miss, and she struck her out. Rothenberger down swinging, but Champlin Park gets 1 on 3 hits, and they tie it up as we go to the second. We played 1 inning. Champlin Park 1 and Centennial 1 here on QCTV Sports.
This program is brought to you by QCTV, serving the communities of Andover, Anoka, Champlin, and Ramsey, bringing you year-round live sports coverage, community shows, and government programming. Tune in each week for new local stories, sports, and information in your city to stay up to date with your community. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Quad Cities TV and on X and YouTube at QCTV to stay up to date with your city and to never miss our live shows.
Along with Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson from Champlin Park High School here tonight. Under the lights not yet quite taking control and taking effect here as we move to the second inning. Top of the second, tied at 1. Centennial's Lily Gilmore, Lily Renslow, and Allison Hemming due up here against Marissa Rothenberger. Lays down the bunt. Right to Rothenberger, and the throw over to first is away from Heltemus, who is covering the second base, and then the throw to second. And Gilmore is safe there. That'll be an error. Second error of the game charged to Champlin Park out in the field, and Centennial's got the leadoff runner at second base.
Hey, you know what? Bunting just forces that defense to make some plays on a cold day like this.
Yep.
Sometimes those fingers can get a little slick on top of that ball, and that throw over the first was just in the dirt, and they couldn't come up with it, so they lead off with a runner on second.
Catcher Lily Renslow, sophomore, behind the plate here tonight for Centennial. We'll call time. Head coach Rick Thomas is coaching down at third, head coach in his 5th year. And, you know, with the COVID knocking out the entire 2020 spring season, it's kind of difficult for these coaches when I ask them, okay, now what year is this for you as head coach? Well, Rick has to say, well, this is my 5th year, but really only my 4th season, and I'm going to go with 5th season. That is my philosophy on that, because even though they didn't play, that was still a season. They still had to deal with the whole COVID thing. They had to deal with their team and their players getting their season canceled. So for my money, and it's not just 5th year, we're going to go 5th season, I think is the verbiage we should use for that for all the spring coaches, because they all, if they were coaching back in 2020, they all lost an entire season, which was so tragic here as it's 1 strike to Lily Renslow. 136 hitter, 3 for 22 on the season, a homer, and 4 runs batted in. She bats here with the runner at second. And takes low there. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rothenberger.
Well, I'll tell you what, the second inning for Centennial is starting to take a look similar to that first inning as they have the runner ready on second.
Bunt again. This one foul at the plate. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The difference is that Champlin Park was able to get that ball to the outfield. Some key 2-out hits.
Centennial last year 7-5 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They finished in 6th. Champlin Park was 8-4. Finished in a tie for 3rd with Andover and Anoka. And this one back to the backstop. And it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes here in that foul ball. With Gilmore at second. A couple of Lilies here, one with 1 L. Lily Gilmore at second has his 1 L in Lily. Lily Renslow at the plate has 2 L's. In the air to left. Hit high. Hewsome camped And off her glove. She didn't use both hands, and then she reached for it off her glove, and everybody's going to be safe. Gilmore to third, Renslow to second. That'll be a two-base error. And right now in the field, Rebels gloves letting down their pitcher, Marissa Rothenberger, who, well, Rothenberger let herself down with the throwing error over to first base. And here comes Brian Woodley out. He wants to settle his team down here a little bit.
Well, and it's, again, second and third, no outs here for Centennial. Second consecutive inning that they've had that scenario. This time, I bet they're going to try to punch this to the outfield somehow.
He's bringing everybody in, so you don't see this very often. So he's just trying to rally his team here because now 3 errors, 3 mistakes out in the field. And that's something in a big game like this as far as the weight of this game when it comes to conference, when it comes to section, etc. There's a lot riding on this game here. These teams play just once this season here during the regular season, as was the case last year.
Correct.
And it might mean the difference of being above the other team or below the other team when it comes to the section playoff seeding.
Absolutely. So let's see if they look for their pitch.
Well,
try to put it in play, because right now you say, hey, okay, I've got the Rebels on the ropes, put it in play, and
well, you put it in play, you probably get a run.
Absolutely.
Second and third. Here's a toss over to first, a grounder right back to Rothenberger. That time a good throw, and everybody stayed put. That's exactly what Rothenberger and Champlin Park needed, making a good play over to first. Runners remain at second and third now with 1 out. And the senior second baseman, Dory Arndt, hitting .800, 4 hits in her 5 at-bats, no homers, 3 runs batted in. She does have a triple. And the number 9 hitter steps up here with runners at second and third. 1 down the inning. Popped up off the bunt, and it's caught by Postma. Chloe Postma found it and makes the catch on a bunt pop-up. How about that?
Well, I'm looking 2 pitches ago. Centennial had runners on second and third and no one out. They saw 2 pitches. One was a ground out back to the pitch, and that one just maybe a little bit more poise, seeing a few more pitches and putting it into play. But now a chance here, a leadoff hitter to bring something across the plate for Centennial.
Let's go to the top of the order. Peyton Corbin led off the game with an infield hit, stole a base, scored the only run back in the first, batting with runners at second and third, swing and a big cut as Rothenberger reached back for a little extra, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the second inning. Centennial trying to reclaim the lead. Welly would bat if Corbin can get on, and the pitch is high. Did not chase. It's 1-2.
Yep, I was looking for the pitch up there, up walking that ladder, getting it up high, elevating, but good patience there by Corbin to take one.
1-2. Lined right at the third baseman, Remler, and she makes the catch in the air. So Centennial threatens, but they don't score. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left in scoring position. And we'll go to the bottom of the second inning, still tied at 1.
Well, yeah, I mentioned at the end of the first inning, see if that's going to come back to haunt Centennial, leaving runners on the base, second and third, no outs, and just pushing the one across. This time they were held without any runs crossing the plate and starting in the same situation essentially offensively. Runners at second and third. So, boy, and some good pitching. I mean, I'll tell you, outstanding job of getting some of those pitches to chase, get them out early off the handle. So stymieing the Cougars to no runs with a golden opportunity to reclaim the lead.
Well, I think Champlin Park, they really responded to their head coach, Brian Woodley, going out there and meeting the entire team, bringing all 9 players into the circle, because then they were sharp, they were focused, they were talking out in the field. I think that was a big difference. And for Centennial now, they've left 3 runners on base in the first 2 innings, all 3 in scoring position too. So that's something, as you mentioned, they would look for as well. Bottom third of the order for Champlin Park. In the bottom of the second inning, Abby Andrews, Lauren Heltemus, and Chloe Postma here for the Rebels. Rebels coming off an 8-1 win at Totino Grace in their most recent game on Thursday, a 12-hit performance. Abrahamson was the winning pitcher in that one, as it was both Abrahamson and Heltemus. So Rothenberger did not pitch in that game on Thursday. Abrahamson got the win. No earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Hewsome was 4 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Rimler 2 for 3 3 runs batted in. Kalu's added an RBI as well for Champlin Park in that 8-1 win over TG on Thursday.
Well, let's see if Heltemus can get things going. 3 for 9 thus far this season. And let's see if they can get their leadoff runner on, unlike last inning, but still able to push a couple of run across with 2 outs.
Here is Abby Andrews to bat, the junior right fielder for Champlin Park, looking for her first hit on the season. She's 0 for 4 on the season, trying to get things started here. Actually, this is Heltemus.
Yep,
well, where's
Heltemus.
number 12? Well, Rothenberger was the last out of the top of the first inning, so they must have flip-flopped. Andrews is batting 8th.
Correct.
Heltemus is batting 7th. Either I just wrote it down or we got the initial lineup incorrect, but it's regardless. As we got extra set of eyes back here to be able to get these all set and ready to go. Yeah, the original one I got on the email had Andrews batting 7th, Heltemus batting 8th.
That's the one I had written down as well. But
flippity flop.
You got it. And 2 strikes on Heltemus here.
Nothing in 2. Heltemus 333. 3 of 9 on the season, and a swing and a miss. That was a drop ball, and she swung over the top, and Heltemus is down swinging. 1 down, and now Abby Andrews, a junior right fielder. Mentioned before, she's looking for her first hit on the season. She is 0 for 4. Riley O'Connell's retired the first batter in first 2 innings here against Champlin Park. 1-1 tie game, bottom of the second here for the home team. And Andrews will take strike 1. Postma would bat next, bottom third of the order for the Rebels.
Yeah, both last hitters on these squads, excellent averages, and kind of use them as a second catalyst in that lineup.
0-1 from O'Connell, took something off. And Andrews out in front, no balls and 2 strikes.
O'Connell kind of getting into her cadence and flow here in this second inning.
Delivers that one low and in. Taking was Andrews. Good eye there. Didn't chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. Champlin Park will host a night game tomorrow. That Andover game here is a night game. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Fouled at the plate. And it continues at 1 ball and 2 strikes. A big benefit to have the lights and be able to play here at night. Probably gives fans and parents a better chance to see games too. Sometimes the 4:30 games might be tough for them to get to if they're work till 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Get stuck in traffic coming out of the heart of the metro. Here's the 1-2 pitch and a late swing. Little excuse me swing there by Andrews, and she goes down swinging. 2 up, 2 down. Both strikeouts here for Riley O'Connell. Now with 4 strikeouts on the game, that'll leave it up to the number 9 hitter, Chloe Postma. 312 hitter, 5 hits, 16 at bats. No homer and 2 runs batted in.
Yeah, you could say that Andrews was pretty much locked up on that third strike, a swing and a miss. But, hey, 2 outs. This is where the inning started last time.
Postma, little check swing down the first base line, ends up being a foul ball. Postma, freshman catcher for Champlin Park. No balls and 1 strike.
Let's see if the Rebels can get something going here, as they did last inning with the 2 outs.
With Postma batting here in the number 9 spot, if she gets on, we'd go to the top of the order. Amanda Cottsmith on deck. The 1-strike pitch. That is right across for a strike. Had her frozen. No balls and 2 strikes. O'Connell has struck out the last 3 batters. Rothenberger to end the first, and then Heltemus and Andrews here in the second. Here's the 0-2 up high.
Wanted to go up top, but not quite to that extreme.
Brian Woodley coaching down at third. Head coach.
15th season.
15th season. Caitlin Hill, the former Rebel, graduated in 2003, coaching down at first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit in the air to right field. And right there, drifting to her right, is Gilmore, who makes the catch. Postma retired, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Rebels go down in order here, bottom of the third. Bottom third of their order here in the bottom of the second. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the third. We played 2, and it's still a 1-1 game here tonight on QCTV Sports.
I'm so tired lately. You got me working crazy. It's time to
Hi, I am Rachel Jorgensen, and I'm the author of this book, Supporting Your Child with Special Needs, 50 Fundamental Tools for Families. And if you know anyone or you yourself are raising a child with special needs of any kind, I have been a special educator for 20 years, almost 20 years. And so I wrote this book to help families navigate the special education system, to help them intervene with their child at home to support growth, and then finally to connect with themselves and to prevent their own burnout as they're raising their child.
As if I'm getting played. Hey chicks, be ready for 6. The weekend's coming our way. I'm so tired lately.
And the sun shining here, late evening sun, with Champlin Park hosting the Centennial Cougars in a 1-1 game as we move to the third inning here for Centennial. Madison Welly, Kendall Seidenkranz, and Kendall Cochran due up here for the Cougars. Welly, a single, stranded at third back in the first inning.
Yeah, we talked about her average coming in 364 for the shortstop.
One score. Here comes the Rothenberger pitch. And that misses. Nope, it's a called strike. 1 strike. We'd like to apologize for some of the technical issues we are having via our audio. Our staff is working on that as we speak. The 1 strike pitch, they're going to appeal to see if she went with that kind of slap lead swing out of the left-handed batter's box, and it is not a swing. And it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Does it again, tries to slap it the other way, and that's wide of third and foul. Not every left-handed swinger in fast-pitch softball does that running slap swing, but many of them do. And there are a lot of coaches that coach that approach, and it's been very effective at all levels. You see them at the highest levels using that, as that one's off the backstop, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you can master that skill, you're able to put the ball the other way, and then you already have a 2-step advantage coming out of that batter's box, Joe.
Absolutely.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Leaning back is Rothenberger. Slap the other way, and that is going to be caught. Nice catch out in left field. It was over Cottsmith's head, but Hewsome came in and made a shoestring catch for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you could tell, hey, she got a jump on that. Good drive, backing it up, but didn't miss it by much at shortstop. But she was there to make the diving catch, a key first out here for the Rebels in the third.
That's the one thing about that slap hitter is Seidenkranz bats, and it's on the outside corner. Strike 1 is with that approach, you're not going to, if you hit it the opposite way, you're not going to get a lot on it. You're not going to be able to hit it over the fielder's head. So the left fielder, Hewsome, is in on that play, Joe, and it works out perfect where, you know, they read it perfectly, and they had it in a position where that was probably as deep as Welly could hit it with that swing. And Hewsome had it played perfectly.
Absolutely.
She was very shallow in left field because of that. And here's a swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Seidenkranz goes down swinging on 3 pitches. And now 2 down in the inning. It's the second strikeout of the game for Marissa Rothenberger. 2 up, 2 down. And here comes Kendall Cochran. Struck out looking back in the first inning. 304 hitter on the season with 7 runs batted in. Nobody on, top of the third. First pitch, good velocity there from the sophomore Rothenberger on the inner half of the plate, 1 strike.
Team lead in RBIs is Cochran.
The 0-1, that one's up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Connell would bat if Cochran gets on. Centennial scored a run in the first. Champlin Park then countered with a run in the bottom of the first. Time called here. Coach Rick Thomas wanting to talk to Kendall Cochran. 2 down, nobody on. Liv Bolio, also first base coach here. She is also a former and alumni of the team she's coaching. She a graduate of the Centennial Cougars and Centennial High School, coaching down at first base here for the Centennial team. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rothenberger rears back again, and a swing and a miss. 1-2. Right now, Marissa Rothenberger reaching back for a little extra. She's really kind of loosened things up here.
She overpowered her on that pitch. perfect pitch, just belt high, but unable to catch up with it.
1-2. And not chasing was Cochran, and it's 2-2.
Yep, they're seeing it here. Hey, so far since Woodley came out for that team meeting on the mound, Centennial 0 for 4.
Yes.
Check that 0 for 5.
And there's one at the knees, called strike 3. Cochran down looking, and Rothenberger sends Centennial down in order. 1-2-3 here in the top of the third inning. 3 up, 3 down, 2.5, 1-1 score. Both teams and pitchers now have settled in.
Look at that, just a dart, right spot, inside part of the plate. Couldn't get any hand extension on it. Was looking for a pitch elsewhere, but that pitch started low and ended right at the knee high. Tough to get that bat head out, and punched out. Second consecutive, as I mentioned, punched out strikeout there.
Look at the Northwest Suburban Conference standings. Centennial and Spring Lake Park have both played 2 more games than Andover and Rogers. They're both at 4-1. Andover is undefeated both overall and in conference play, 3-0 and 6-0. There's Rogers, also undefeated both overall and in the conference.
Just learned that Andover is now 4-0.
They won their game
they picked
earlier
up their
today.
Against Armstrong. Big win this afternoon. So that will set for an interesting table tomorrow night, Champlin Park. And now the 7-0 Huskies will meet. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we mentioned these 7 o'clock games, probably bigger crowds here with these 7 o'clock games. A little chillier, of course, than maybe a 4 o'clock start or a 4:30 start, but still under the lights gives more fans an opportunity to come out and enjoy these games.
And maybe
Champlin
that
Park.
wind subsides just a little bit by evening.
A lot of times it does when the sun sets. We move to the third inning here for Champlin Park. Bottom of the third, and the top of their order, Amanda Consummith, Hannah Hewsome, and Ava Parent in a 1-1 game. Riley O'Connell has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters she has seen. 4 strikeouts on the game here entering the third. And now with 56 on the season and 40 innings pitched. Consummith struck out back in the first. Went down swinging. And we'll take this first one on the outside corner, strike 1.
She did. Hey, with an on-base percentage at .435, and she scored 8 runs this season. You like to see her get on that base path, and Cotsmith.
1 strike from O'Connell. And that one is on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Nothing in 2. And O'Connell feeling it now a little bit here. The junior right-hander leans back, gets the sign. Catcher Renslow behind the plate ready, and here comes the 0-2. Missed it outside, 1-2.
Well, getting on base, such a key, because you change the behaviors many times. And not necessarily the pitcher, but those fielders, as they feel a little bit more pressure. But right now, those pitchers have been in control.
1-2 is inside.
Oh.
2-2. Thought the home plate umpire almost looked like he was going to ring her
I
up.
thought he was.
He had that body language. And again, you got to kind of wait for him. I can't hear. I think he does utter something. I think there is a I think there is, for every strike, there's a guttural sound.
Maybe a grunt.
Here comes the 2-2, and it misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This, I believe, is our first full count all game long. We've had a couple of 2-2s, but this is our first 3-2 count all game long here, with Champlin Park batting and leading it off here in the bottom of the third. Payoff off the handles and foul. Good job just getting the bat on that, protecting the plate on 3-2, and it'll roll along here 3-2. Base is empty.
Yeah, you can see that ball kind of moving towards inwards. Hey, if she's going to try to put a bat on that thing, she's not going to get a whole lot of power on it. Jamming her up.
Here comes another 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Right side of the infield, O'Connell called off by the first baseman Hemming, who comes in to make the catch. 1 out. With the wind, everything is a little bit of an adventure on fly balls that go up like that with that spin. But Hemming did the right thing, O'Connell did the right thing, and we've got 1 down.
I got to tell you, though, Jim, windy days, windy games, baseball, softball, you have to be that much louder on communication, and you see more of those gaps occur. And that's why the wind can take it out of you after a game.
Good point. Hannah Hewsome, 0 for 1, grounded back to the pitcher. Little check swing, and it's in there for a hit into shallow right field. Hewsome gets to first, a 1-out base runner. And it's the 4th base hit of the game for Champlin Park. A runner on here with 1 down.
Might have called that a Texas leaguer way back when, but right off the trademark on that bat on the inside part. But great job, good strength to power through with that top hand.
Ava Parent, base hit, run scored. Back in the first inning, scored the only run of the game here for Champlin Park. Now 9 hits and 21 at-bats on the season, hitting over 400. Will wave at that one, strike 1.
Actually, one of the team leads in total bases, but the key component with Parents, everything got started with 2 outs in that first inning for the Rebels.
0-1. Swing and a miss. O'Connell, good heat again, and it's 0-2.
You know, some of these fast pitch flamethrowers here, you got to get to them early in the game. Both teams tried to do that, because once they get later in 4th, 5th, they're in that zone.
O'Connell 0-2, ahead in the count, and it's fouled back off the screen, and it stays here at no balls and 2 strikes.
Outfield pretty much straight away, and certainly playing deep with that wind blowing out.
And the organist is here tonight as well, always nice. A luxury. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch, up and away. Quick snap throw down to first by Renslow, and diving back Hewsome. Count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Ava Parent.
Hey, I liked how Hewsome extended that lead. I'd take that gamble, force them to throw down. On these cold days and some wind, easy to turn that ball.
1-2 delivery. Misses inside, evening it up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
She really tries to come inside the handcuff. The hitters, does O'Connell.
And her 2-2 pitch. Low and in. That'll fill the count again. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Look here as a little bit of a shade for second base towards first.
Runner at first, 1 out, 3-2, pulled foul. Out in front of that off speed from O'Connell, and it'll stay here, 3-2, our second 3-2 count of this inning, the first 2 of the game, with Reese Rimler on deck. Mentioned that Parent singled. Made her way around the base paths, came in on that RBI base hit by Abrahamson. Another 3-2 pitch from O'Connell, and missed just off the outside part of the plate. That'll put a runner at first here, first and second. That's the first walk for either pitcher in the game here tonight, and the cleanup hitter here for Champlin Park is Reese Rimler. And Coach Rick Thomas will call time, and he'll bring his infield into the circle.
Yeah, interesting to see if they want to keep him at double play depth. But again, it's starting to wind up here. See if the Rebels can capitalize with some runners on base. Centennial. I think I have it 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 5 here. Those are runners in second and third in those first couple of innings. So Rebels have a chance here to punch one to the outfield here. I think they're probably also instructing each of the, at least at first base, to play that line.
I don't know if he's in the dugout or not, but I did see Mike Diggins here tonight. I don't know if he's the JV coach here for Centennial, but of course head coach of the Centennial Cougars football team that won their first ever state championship earlier here back in the fall, earlier this school year. What a great year for them. And I loved how they played. It was all ground and pound. It was old-fashioned smash-mouth football. To win a championship like that here in these days, the days of the spread and everything, it's kind of cool. So with runners at first and second, 1 down, it's Rimler. O'Connell, after the timeout, delivers, and Reumler swings through it. 1 strike. Reumler a base hit, was stranded back in the first inning. Champlin Park trying to take the lead in a 1-1 game here on their home field. First and second, 1 down, 1 strike pitch. Hit in the air and well to left field. Going back, and it's off the base of the fence. Seidenkrantz kicks it around. 1 run is in, and they will hold Hewsome at third. And a big double off the bat of Reese Reumler, her 10th run batted into the season. And Champlin Park takes the lead at 2-1.
Boy, you could see her barrel up on that swing. She was looking, it looked like, for just that one pitch, that one location, and got the bat head out on that thing and drove it off the left field wall, just beyond the left fielder's reach.
Got the bat head around on that one. That pitch on the inner half part of the plate, and Seidenkrantz kicked it around a little bit. That didn't really cost her anything, as Parent ended up stopping at third. Reumler is at first. Hewsome comes in to score, and here's a bunt right back to the pitcher and a scramble, and they're going to call her out. She was way out of the base path, coming around, scrambling around the plate. Now the runner trying to advance to second. She'll be safe there, throw to third, and safe there as well. So no run. The out at home, it'll stay 2-1, and now 2 down in the inning. Abrahamson, the batter, is safe on the fielder's choice.
There's a little bit of a bounce back, a little Dancing with the Stars moment at home. Missed her on that first tag, and then she tried to move away, and this time she's even just way beyond the box.
And now dancing the cha-cha. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so Parent is out. That's a 1-3 for the second out of the inning. Reumler ends up to third, and then the fielder's choice, Abrahamson, ends up at second base. So still second and third for the Rebels. They've got to run in here to take the lead, and the batter is the number 6 hitter, the pitcher, Marissa Rothenberger, here against O'Connell, who's also trying to minimize the damage here. And this one's going to find the hole up the middle for a base hit. In is Reumler, stopping at third, Abrahamson, and a clutch 2-out RBI base hit for Rothenberger, and it's 3-1 Champlin Park.
Yeah, well, 2 of the 3 runs that have been produced by the Rebels have come with 2 outs. This one here in the third. And now a 3-1 lead, and I will tell you, just some great piece of hitting there. Looking for that spot, not trying to do too much with it. And the pitcher protects her territory, does Rothenberger, and comes up with a big knock here in the third.
5th hit of the game here for Champlin Park. We're going to get a courtesy runner over at first here for Champlin Park. For Rothenberger, the pitcher, Abrahamson is at third. And a key at bat here for Riley O'Connell. Already a couple of runs in. It's 3-1. And she needs to get this one out. We'll see what kind of play they might have on. See if they send the runner at first. Looks like runner does not go, and the pitch is a ball. 1-0 here to Lauren Heltemus, who was a strikeout victim back in the 8th inning.
Now, we said the wind is blowing out and shot by Reumler. We should note that had so much top spin on it.
Yeah.
That ball rotated on a baseline shot in tennis. That was not going to get to that altitude needed to lift it up, nor did it have the backspin.
And there's another. That one was called a strike, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1, 2 down. Couple of runs in here for Champlin Park, and they've taken a 3-1 lead.
Champlin Park looking to do some more damage with 2 outs.
That's Layla Wynn, number 0, who is running over at first base. So Wynn is over at first, the courtesy runner for the pitcher Rothenberger. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Heltemus. A chance here to add to her team's lead with 2 down, already 2 runs in, bottom of the third for Champlin Park. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Heltemus, the junior second baseman. O'Connell to the plate on the outside corner. Called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Great location on that pitch. Again, looking for something maybe mid-plate and in. Was Heltemus that time, but watched the strike on the outside corner.
And the 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat towards the Centennial dugout in foul, and the count will continue here at 1-2 strikes. If Heltemus gets on, Abby Andrews, who is a strikeout victim in the second inning, on deck here for the Rebels.
Looking across right field. Starts to protect that right field line here with 2 strikes.
The 1-2 off the handle. Foul territory, and the first baseman Hemming makes the catch. And that's it for Champlin Park, but 2 key runs here. They take the lead, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a couple of left on. We played 3 innings. We move on to the 4th, and the Rebels have a 3-1 lead over the Cougars here on QCTV Sports.
Hi, I am Rachel Jorgensen, and I'm the author of this book, Supporting Your Child with Special Needs, 50 Fundamental Tools for Families. And if you know anyone or you yourself are raising a child with special needs of any kind, I have been a special educator for 20 years, almost 20 years. And so I wrote this book to help families navigate the special education system, to help them intervene with their child at home to support growth, and then finally to connect with themselves and to prevent their own burnout as they're raising their child.
Wonderful shot from our center field camera here this evening. Champlin Park High School, a chilly, breezy night, 3-1. Champlin Park leading. We're moving on into the top of the 4th inning. Riley O'Connell for Centennial, the pitcher, fouls it the other way towards the first baseman, Kaluza. 1 strike here, O'Connell. .333 hitter coming into the game. Grounded back to the pitcher. That was the off of the pitcher's ankle to end the first inning. 1-3. Swing and a miss. Chases that Rothenberger pitch at the letters, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, some good smoke. And tried to work it upstairs.
Rothenberger coming off a 1-2-3 inning. She's retired 6 in a row. And that's all 6 in a row after that timeout called by Brian Woodley. No balls, 2 strikes, up high, 1-2. And a lot of times coaches call a timeout. They don't get the kind of response that they want. That's the time head coach Woodley definitely got the kind of response from his team after that timeout. 1-2 pitch, foul back. It's like in basketball or anywhere you call a timeout, and then coming out on the inbounds, immediate turnover.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, he got responses in a matter of seconds.
Yes.
2 pitches.
Yep. It's a good sign for the Rebels. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And did she go around?
Yes.
And she did. Did not check in time. O'Connell goes down. That's 3 strikeouts in a row here for Marissa Rothenberger. And her 4th strikeout of the game, 1 out here in the top of the 4th for Lily Gilmore. Lily Gilmore followed by Lily Renslow here with 1 down. The bases are empty. She'll step out. Sounds like we have rectified those audio issues and corrected what was ever wrong. Thank you for hanging with us here. Game was probably more enjoyable without the announcers anyway, as usually is the case here. That one, Gilmore hits it the other way, fouled on the first base line. One strike here to Lily Gilmore. Understanding it was just static. They could still hear us, Joe. Might have been what I had for lunch. I'm not sure. Here comes the pitch.
Oh, tough
just
pitch.
Missed. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, when you come in that low and bang in right on those hands, it's tough to do anything as a hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Bases empty here in the top of the 4th. Foul back off the screen again. And it's 1-2 here to Gilmore. A 200 hitter coming in. Reached on an error to lead off the second inning. Champlin Park had 3 errors in the first 2 innings,
Right.
but has been clean since.
Since the conversation.
Yes. 1-2 pitch. Did she check? No, she went.
Oh, wow.
On 1-2, they appealed down the first base umpire, and he said she went 2 down. That's now 4 strikeouts. O'Connell went looking. Actually, not looking, but swinging in the check swing scenario. And same thing here for Gilmore. And when teams are checking their swing and, going around or even having to check, and whether they check, that means they're being fooled.
Absolutely, keeping them off balance.
So back-to-back strikeouts here.
Well, that was a change.
And Renslow strike one to her.
You could almost read the label on the ball that time. That was definitely.
Took the spin off it. Darting through the strike zone. Little flare. Diving attempt by Cottsmith at short. But it's past her and into center field for a base hit.
Oh, she laid out for that one. Full extension, but just off the tip of the glove. And again, not a hard struck ball, right off the handle. The pitch is coming inside. Just tailing a bit, but a great job there by Centennial.
That ends the run there for Rothenberger, having retired 8 in a row. She had struck out 4 in a row and retired 8 in a row, but Renslow, the catcher, able to find that one into center field just out of the reach of the diving Cottsmith. So a one-out base runner here, and the number 8 hitter, number 9, Allison Hemming, up to the plate here for Centennial.
Yep, any way you can kind of extend the inning, 2 outs, and start punching that ball.
Rothenberger to the plate, strike. Quick throw down. It hit the runner in the leg, Renslow, with Kaluza there playing at first base.
And hey, there's just a case. Extend it, get them throwing the ball around more on a cold night. Just, hey, try to get that momentum in your direction, even with the 2 outs.
1 strike. Inside out swing down the right field line, foul. And Rothenberger quickly ahead of Hemming, a .214 hitter. Does have a home run on the season, but now she's in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, and let's just see if she doesn't bother dangling it all, just tries to bring the heat up top.
2 down, runner at first, nothing in 2. Here comes the Rothenberger pitch, lost that one low. Nice stop there by Postma, the catcher. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You mentioned some impressive numbers on the season for Marissa Rothenberger. Includes that with 1 shutout. What's that?
Quick throw down. It's off the glove of Heltemus, who was covering at second and didn't get far enough away, but it's a stolen base for Renslow.
Excellent throw by Postma that was there. Just got that glove down a little too quick before the ball could settle in the pocket. And hey, good job stealing the bases, getting some going. Now you got a runner in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's actually Ellie Mundale running at second. It'll be a moot point. She's the courtesy runner for the catcher because Hemming taps back to the pitcher 1-3 for the final out of the inning. And Centennial is retired here in the top of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, and they leave 1 here at the top of the 4th. 3.5. Bottom of the 4th coming up with Champlin Park coming to the plate with a 3-1 lead.
Well, both these teams can bring some hitting and some activity on the base path. As I mentioned, Champlin Park, a .297 team thus far this season. On base percentage, .353. And when it comes to Centennial, they have some equal offensive talent there, as their team batting average comes in with a .289 and 4 home runs. But so far, they have been stifled. They've put up 43 runs this season, has Centennial. They've been held to just the 1 that they scored in the first inning.
Yeah, Champlin Park, they opened up the season with a win over Blaine, 4-0. Lost to Spring Lake Park, 3-1. Defeated Armstrong, 4-1. 9-2 over Hill Murray. Lost to Rogers, 4-2. Rogers is undefeated. And beat Totino Grace, 8-1. So the team ERA, they've given up. In fact, it's so few I can actually do the math here. 3, 4, 6, 10. They've only given up 11 runs on the season through the first 6 games, entering this one here tonight. So the Rebels have done a nice job, and most of that is Marissa Rothenberger, but we mentioned before, Abrahamson and Heltemus combined for the victory. Abrahamson got the win in that 8-1 win Thursday at TG.
And Centennial has a tough task as well, not only tonight's game, but coming up on the 25th. Battle against Rogers, as you mentioned. Undefeated team in that section.
That'll be a good one. Abby Andrews leads it off for Champlin Park. Bottom of the 4th. And Riley O'Connell, junior right-hander, delivers up high. Ball 1, 1-0. Abby struck out back in the 2nd. Still looking for that first hit of the season. here for the junior right fielder, and a senior-less lineup here for the Rebels. Young team lifted in the air, right field, coming in strong. The right fielder diving catch, and Gilmore got it. Her team celebrating like it was the final out of the World Series. The way she caught that, they were so excited that she got it. But a great catch.
Watch her
and
extend
as you know, Joe, that's the hardest catch when you're coming in to make a diving catch.
A great angle.
Beautiful.
On top. Might have been Logan who got us that camera view up top, or Malik, but nonetheless, great camera work. And she laid it out, extended. From our angle, Jim, initially I thought I saw the ball on the ground, but in her glove the whole time.
Yeah, it was a snow cone. And with that yellow softball that we use, it's a lemon ice. It's like a lemon ice snow cone. As the batter now is Postma, the number 9 hitter, one down. Base is empty in the bottom of the 4th here for the Rebels. Optic yellow is the technical term for that. Fly ball to center, and Postma is out with Corbin making the catch out in center field. Now 2 outs in the inning. We'll go to the top of the order, and Amanda Cottsmith. 2 down, nobody on here in the Champlin Park half of the 4th.
Postma didn't miss that pitch by much. You could see she held back. They always say, hips before hands, and that time hips were out there and extended, but she held that bat back and just missed driving that up the middle for a hit, just got underneath it.
Cottsmith 0 for 2 came in hitting .316. Looks at ball 1 here. Cottsmith a strikeout in the first, popped out to the first baseman Hemming in the 3rd.
Of course, that hips before hands could apply to our golf games.
Mm-hmm.
Many times it's just the opposite for me.
I don't know about that. I think in the golf game, if you don't want to flare your
left
hips
up
out,
front
you
on
don't
the
want
front
to flare. I don't know if it applies so much to the golf swing.
I'm saying
maybe
it does.
to my swing it does. If you flare those hips wide open, and you're way behind, and then you really slice it. Let's see this pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike now here to Cottsmith. If she gets on, Hewsome, the number 2 batter, would step in. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 down. O'Connell looking for an easy one here, trailing at 3-1. Lifted right side off the screen, and again out of play, 2-2.
You like to see Hewsome get a chance to have an at-bat with someone on, somebody who's hitting .526 tonight. She has not had that luxury.
2-2. Lights now taking effect, as you may be able to tell. And that just missed. That'll fill the count, 3-2. Cottsmith had a full counter last at bat in the 3rd, and now it's full here with nobody on and 2 down.
Catcher back there that hardly moved that mitt. Still didn't get the call.
Comes the payoff. Just got a piece of it to stay alive in on the handle. Good job there by Cottsmith, and it stays 3-2.
Yep, she went outside. Did O'Connell on the previous pitch, and then that pitch she came right back inside on the hands.
3-2. Popped up again, and that'll be off the screen. And we'll continue here. Good battle here between Cottsmith and the junior right-hander for Centennial, Riley O'Connell.
Wind maybe starting to decrease here, just as I say.
I think it is, yeah.
To
Look
get
at
a
the
little
flag out in left
jet
field.
Of wind out in left field.
3-2 pitch again, and that just missed.
Well, let's see if this will come
it.
back to haunt. It's been the Rebels who have been able to push some runs across the plate with 2 outs, and now an opportunity with their number 2 hitter, Hewsome, stepping in here.
2 of their 3 runs have come in with 2 down, as you have mentioned earlier. The RBIs tonight, Rimler with an RBI, Rothenberger, and Abrahamson. And now Hannah Hewsome trying to extend the inning here with 2 down, the runner at first. And that got her. So a walk and now a hit by pitch. We'll put runners at first and second, and that one got her on the side. And
looked like the ribs.
Looked like Hannah, she's trying to walk it off here. That hit flush. You could hear that. So first and second.
Gingerly walking her way to first.
Right there.
And
she
the
turned
pitch
away a
comes in
little
tight.
bit.
Instead of trying to jump back, you always turn that shoulder, but it caught her in that lower rib region towards the back. And cold night.
That'll sting.
Chance again. Hey, no one better right now at the plate than Parent. She started things in the first inning with 2 outs. And now a look here with 2 on and 2 outs here for the Rebels in the bottom of the 4th.
Parent, a single, run scored, and a walk. Walk and a hit batter here, giving Champlin Park a chance to maybe add to their lead. A swing and a miss. Parent misses on that pitch from Riley O'Connell, trying to pitch out of this little 2-out jam. 1 strike to Parent. 400 hitter coming into the game tonight. And the 1 strike. Hit well down the line, hooking fair inside the line. Cottsmith rounding third. She will score. And it's a big base hit for Ava Parent. And they add to the lead here, Champlin Park. It's 2 and it's 5-1.
Hey, now with 9 RBIs on the season, 1 word for that hit, clutch. Again, 2 outs. A 5-1 lead now for the Rebels. Look at this bat head. She waits, and then smokes it. Got that pitch right across the plate. Explosive hands, and takes it down the line. Just inside that left field line now. Again, 2 outs. And that brings up Remler. Remler last time up had so much top spin on this drive on a rope. She hit the left field. They couldn't get it up in the air, but did hit the fence.
Remler 2 for 2, a single, double run scored. She can add to that line here and is ahead in the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. So Parent, a 2-run double. Joe mentioned RBI's numbers 8 and 9 with Cottsmith and Hewsome both scoring, making it 5-1. And the 2-0 pitch is a changeup that's called a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. If Rimler gets on, Abrahamson on deck. 5-1, Champlin Park here. A run in the first, 2 in the third, now 2 here in the fourth. 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings for the Rebels, opening up the 5-1 lead. 2-1 pitch. This is outside, 3-1.
Hey, the key was Cottsmith battling her at bat and reaching on a walk, and the next hitter, Hewsome, took one in the back. The runners at first and second, and Parent took advantage.
3-1 delivery in the dirt, ball 4.
Maybe a little tired from the pitching of O'Connell as she kind of dribbled that one to the plate, and I think we're going to see a pitching change.
Yeah, here comes Rick Thomas out. Again, Riley O'Connell Jr. had a really good second inning, but then Champlin Park able to get some clutch hits and do some things with 2 outs, and that can be demoralizing as a pitcher and as a team out in the field.
And hey, you know, maybe not the pitching change, but maybe a chance to give her a breath. As I said, she looked like she was probably tiring out there. And sometimes you just want to tell the catcher, go up and just have any conversation to allow her to take a couple of breaths. And they're going to keep her in. I mean, she's been the picture of Richard. She's gone the distance in each of the games. They did make some changes in the outfield, moved a couple of players over. Let's see if I can get those for you.
Okay, so Rimler at first, Parent is at second. Ava Abrahamson will bat. RBI single, now with 10 runs batted in on the season. Actually, your second run batted in the season. And then reached on a fielder's choice and was stranded at third back in the third inning. Here comes the delivery. It's up high, ball 1.
They may have switched their left and right fielder, Centennial, after that rope that Rimler hit last time up. They're probably pretty certain she will not be.
Nope, Seidenkranz is still out and left, number 5, okay. Yep. Off the handle, back to the backstop. And Renslow took a quick look at it, but couldn't get to it before it made it to the backstop. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike here. Again, O'Connell just 1 out away from getting out of this inning after retiring the first 2 batters. But again, a lot of 2-out damage here for Champlin Park. That's been the name of the game. Off the handle, this one's going to have some spin. And it's foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Abrahamson gets on, Rothenberger would bat next.
Just going to say, I'll bet she's coming inside, does not want to allow her to extend those arms.
O'Connell, 5-1 here, Champlin Park. Couple of runs in this inning. Swing and a miss. Struck her out on 1-2. That's a big strikeout for O'Connell, but damage done. here in the bottom of the fourth for Champlin Park. Couple of runs on a hit. A walk and a hit batter helped him out as well. The big hit, the 2-run double by Ava Perrin. As we go to the fifth, we've played 4 here in Champlin Park. Has opened up a 5-1 lead on Centennial on QCTV Sports.
The City of Champlin would like to invite you to the Business Connections Network event. This event is free to local business owners. Take advantage of this great opportunity to network and hand out your business cards. In partnership with the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, this great event will be held at the Champlin, Mississippi Crossings Event Center on May 9th at 7:30 a.m. So be sure to get up early, get ready to network, and we'll see you in Champlin on May 9th.
Champlin Park, top of the fifth inning. Centennial needing to rally here, and they've got the number 9 hitter, then the top of their order due up in the top of the fifth inning. Arndt, Corbin, and Welly.
Yeah, but Arndt comes with a great average.
And four hits and 5 at bats coming in now. 4 hits and 6 at bats. And swings and misses there, and quickly Marissa Rothenberger is enjoying a 5-1 lead here, is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes to lead off the fifth.
Yeah, she's kind of getting into the groove and a rhythm out there.
0-2, swing and a miss, 3-pitch strikeout. Arndt down swinging, 1 down in the inning, 6 strikeout here for Rothenberger. She came in with 30 strikeouts, and now she has 36 strikeouts and just 2 walks. Has not walked a Cougar batter yet here tonight as we go to the top of the order here for Centennial and Peyton Corbin.
Gets a chance to flip the lineup and
popped it up foul. Out of play, 1 strike. Corbin tonight, single, stole a base, scored an unearned run, the only run of the game for Centennial back in the first inning.
Yeah, and I tell you, she's got to get things going. The top half of this order has got to get some flow going. And people on the base path.
1 strike, that's up and in. Brushed her off the plate, 1-1. Centennial has been to state 3 times in recent years, 2018, 2021, and 2022. And Champlin Park has never been to the state softball tournament, has never gone to North Mankato and Caswell Park. And talking to Coach Brian Woodley earlier, they feel like they really have a team that can contend for that Section 5 4A championship with a 2-1 delivery. It's up high. Now 3-1 to Corbin.
Yeah, Maple Grove has seen a few losses this season as well, along with that component. But let's see what the Rebels can get things going. Some strong pitching.
Rosemont won the state championship last year, second in their last 3 years. They defeated the previous year's champion Forest Lake last year, 6-1. And the 3-1 pitch is a ball. And that is the first walk of the game given up by Rothenberger, just her 3rd of the season. And that'll bring up Madison Welly here, 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a line out.
Yep, the line out just beyond the reach of shortstop, and again in left field to haul that in was Hewsome.
Bats left, she's got that run through slap swing, and will take a strike there. And you can see out in left field, we mentioned that Hewsome made that great diving catch, but they really bring the left fielder in. She is just a few steps really off the infield dirt out in the left field grass against this batter. Taken low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, and Champlin Park a 5-1 lead.
They're looking to find a way just to get something going. They certainly had their opportunities in those first and second innings to really extend a 1-0 lead. They had runners at second and third in both of those innings with no outs and could just get 1 across.
2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Runner at first. Up high. Runner goes. Throw down, and that's in time. What a throw by Postma. Chloe Postma throws out the attempted stealing runner, Peyton Corbin. 2 down.
Oh, that was a dime. Ball, everything got there before the runner, but look at this. Little quick pop time, catch and release.
Perfect placement.
And the tag is the exclamation point in the out.
Cottsmith had her glove. The ball landed right where it needed to be. 3-1 pitch misses. It's a walk here to Welly. Now a 2-out base runner. A couple of walks given up here this inning by Rothenberger. The number 3 hitter, Kendall Seidenkrantz. 0 for 2, reaching an error and a strikeout here tonight for Centennial.
Yeah, she has 6 RBIs, 9 hits on the season. They could use a big shot or ball tagged here.
Top of the 5th inning here, swing and a miss.
You figure, hey, you hit this, then you get into the sixth inning. You know, you're looking at 5, 6, 7 hitters. And beyond that, Centennial has not had a lot of success.
1 strike, swing and a miss. Now 0-2. Seidenkrantz came in there, leading hitter with a .429 average.
Correct.
But 0 for 2 here tonight, and now 0-2 with 2 down. The runner over at first is Welly. That one's fouled back, and it continues here at no balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, she just missed that one. Had the bat speed, the hands, but just got underneath it. But had the right read on the right pitch. Let's see how much they mix it up here on the 2-strike count here with 2 outs.
Current temperature 51 degrees. Feels colder than that. Swing and a miss. And Seidenkrantz down swinging for Centennial. Big out for Marissa Rothenberger. Strands the runner at first after giving up the walk. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. 4.5 here at Champlin Park High School. And the Rebels have a 5-1 lead over the Cougars.
Yeah, you mentioned it's getting colder out, and it's tough to get that bat around. Great pitch, good movement. That thing started middle of the plate. It climbed a bit and came inside. And strikeout is that, I believe, strikeout number 7.
Number 7 for Rothenberger here tonight.
And here comes kind of a moving time right now in the bottom of the 5th. Let's see if the Rebels can push across a couple more. And you mentioned, Jim, it's cold. It kind of feels a little like that meat locker night. And the lights
Don't mention meat locker when I haven't had dinner yet. All right. As we'll have Rothenberger due up here, and then Heltemus and Andrews 6, 7, and 8 here for Champlin Park. As you see there, running the first, 2 each in the 3rd and the 4th. Those are the big differences here. The Rebels getting those clutch 2-out base hits, the big difference here tonight as well.
That it is. That it is. And, hey, they've got to keep their heads in it. Keep moving here. Update here. Spring Lake Park defeated Rogers 5-4 tonight.
Wow. Well,
Just
there's that.
Got an update.
Like we said, I mean, it was wide open. Even though Rogers was undefeated, both section and conference, anybody can beat anybody. I tell the top 5, 6 teams in the conference and the section are all pretty well competitively balanced.
Dean Halverson gave me that update. As
it's nice to have somebody in the crowd helping us out. Good support staff. You did tell him we can't pay him anything, right?
Right, we did. We did.
And all the money needs to go to the announcers.
And absolutely.
Here's Rothenberger. 1 for 2 tonight with single and an RBI. Her first run batted into the season, by the way, and we'll take a strike here. 1 strike helped her cause out with that big 2-out hit back in the 3rd.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that loss by Rogers really shows you the depth of this whole Northwest Suburban Conference, as well as a couple of teams have already beaten Maple Grove this season.
1 strike pitch misses inside, 1-1. And don't ever sleep on Spring Lake Park. Ever since their entry from the old North Suburban into the Northwest Suburban Conference, they have been a competitive team both in the section and also in the conference, in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Bouncer to second. Arndt fumbled it a bit, but still has time and gets Rothenberger over at first, 1 out.
Yep, kind of just got the bat head out on that thing, saw the pitch, that stayed with it, but a nice play defensively. Just to knock it down and make that short throw in time to get the leadoff hitter. But, of course, it's been more of that 2-out offense that the Rebels have gotten tonight that has been the game changer.
Lauren Heltemus, the junior second baseman, strikeout. Also fouled out the first, 0 for 2 tonight. And it's strike one to her. Game moving right along. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Thanks for joining us here on QCTV. Joe Ruland along with Jim Erickson. Ryan and the entire crew, Trinity and the rest. Bunt, nice one. Throw is going to be offline. And Heltemus will be safe. Give her a bunt base hit.
But that ball stopped.
It just died.
On a dime. It's like a sand trap.
It's like it landed in a footprint and just stayed there.
And then, but watching that spot for the bat, because the catcher had to look and make sure she didn't step on that bat. And I just wondered how that played into it as well.
Right.
Tried to throw it inside, as you always do. But, boy, she had to do some quick footwork, not only to pick up that bunt, make the throw, but elude a bat right out in front of her.
So Heltemus is on. Abby Andrews the batter now, and will foul it at the plate. 1 strike. That's the 7th hit of the game for Champlin Park. 5 runs on 7 hits here tonight. Heltemus over at first here with Andrews, who has struck out and flied to right 0 for 2, and now has a 1-strike count on her.
Looking outside here and a look to see how that outfielders are going to shift. Strike there.
And it is a strike called.
Starting to,
0-2. Here to Abby Andrews on deck. Chloe Postma. It's key here for Riley O'Connell to keep this 5-1 for her and Centennial. They're thinking about coming back with 2 at-bats left. They need to keep it 5-1 and not let them extend the lead. Quick throw down to first, and Heltemus dives back. That pitch was a ball, and it's 1-2 here to Andrews.
getting that pitch here. It's amazing how we used to always just kind of try to get a read if you're playing short or second.
1-2.
And everybody on those wristbands knows exactly what pitch is coming as they double check as
wristbands have taken over. Information wristbands in so many different sports. Mm-hmm. Football is the other one that obviously it is really played into with the play calls coming from the sideline.
The only one that hasn't is lacrosse, and we'll bring you that tomorrow night.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and there's a called strike. She went around. So Andrews down swinging. 2 down, 6 strikeout. I don't know if we use in hockey. I don't know if we have the wristbands with plays on them either.
True, yeah.
You don't see it in basketball too
Correct.
often.
No, not at all.
But the team sports that have more players out on the field and the playing surface, I think you see it more often. Their plays are called. And the batter now is Postma. 2 down in the inning. Postma tonight, flied to right, flied to center. 0 for 2, ball 1 to her. She gets on, top of the order, Cottsmith.
I believe it was her fly out to right on a diving catch there by Centennial.
Yes. Yeah, Gilmore.
Robbed her of a base hit. Mm-hmm.
Goes the other way again, but it's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit that one on a line past the dugout down the right field line. Postman not afraid to go the other way, which good piece of hitting.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, you're watching that ball come in a little longer, watching that path as it comes a little longer into that strike zone, and then slapping it opposite side.
1 ball, 1 strike to the plate. Popped up right side. That'll be out of play. No other games going on. This is the only one here tonight, so we don't have to worry about balls coming from the other 3 fields here, which sometimes here, because they are in close quarters. All 3 of the backstops are very, very close in proximity.
The Vegas over-under tonight was 3 hits on the QCTV band. We have yet to see 1.
We have not had a home run yet here tonight. Here's the pitch popped up over our heads again, out of play.
Brian said he would take the over on that, but
and it continues
blemish-free.
Continues here 1 and 2. Yeah, we haven't seen any home runs. You know, we had the wind, but also you got to keep in mind it's also cold, and the ball just will not travel. It won't compress the same, as you know, Joe, in these scenarios when it's this cold. It just won't travel as far. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul back again
Good
off the
piece of hitting.
screen, and it's 1-2. Always nice to work in a little bit of science. Science certainly is involved when it comes to the game of fast pitch and other sports as well.
Well, this hitting right here, this at bat for Postma. She's been a bulldog in here trying to extend this at bat on 4 foul balls.
Still 1-2 with 2 down. O'Connell delivers. She reaches down and engulfs it into left field for a hit.
What a poised hit. What
Was a
stick-to-itiveness.
Good battle between Postma and O'Connell, and Postma ends up winning the battle. Goes down and engulfs it into left field.
And what that does, it allows you to flip the lineup. Go to your leadoff hitter and Cottsmith. The runners now on first and second. Just a tremendous display of hitting. She kept fouling off the better pitches. This one low. She went down with the pitching wedge and found a home in left field on the base hit. First and second now runners for the Rebels with 2 outs.
Heitzman running over at first for the catcher. Number 11, Heitzman over there for Champlin Park. Runners at first and second. Heltemus at second. Heitzman now at first. And as we mentioned, Amanda Cottsmith walked her last at bat. She's 0 for 2. First pitch swinging here on the ground, left side. Cochran, the third baseman, will take the short out and tag out the runner Heltemus. And that's all for Champlin Park. They're down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll move to the 6th. No runs, couple of hits. They leave 2. And it's 5-1 Champlin Park as we go to the 6th here on QCTV Sports.
The best way to learn about local government is to see it in action. No fooling. On April 1st, local homeschooled children took a tour of Ramsey's City Hall, police and fire departments, and public works buildings. There, they received an up-close look at the systems that decide where businesses are built, how water is transported from deep underground all the way to their faucets at home, and the different tools police officers use to assist during an emergency. Several highlights of the day included trying on the protective gear utilized by the police department and exploring the big machines that plow snow, move dirt, and much more. These tours aren't just limited to school groups. If you'd like a closer look at how Ramsey functions, you're welcome to attend City Council and Advisory Board meetings and arrange a tour of your own. Feel free to give the city a call at 763-427-1410.
Well, we move along to the top of the 6th inning. Centennial, a couple of at-bats here to try and figure out Marissa Rothenberger. They have not been able to touch her up for a run since very early in this ball game. Back in the 1st inning when Corbin led off with a single, stole a base, and came in to score on an error. That only run given up by Rothenberger is an unearned run. And how about that shot? Beautiful shot of the moon. Here's a little bunt down the third base line, and Kendall Cochran is on with a bunt base hit. Boy, that's one of the more beautiful shots of the moon I've seen. I know we had a waxing gibbous moon. We were waxing our way to a full moon yesterday. That looks like a full moon. If that's not
I
full,
swear you and I worked these games about the moon discussions.
Yes.
And,
well, I mean, look at that shot.
Okay.
I mean, how can you not talk about that? Any announcer should be fired who doesn't talk about the moon with that shot. I don't care who you are. Howard Cosell, Bob Costas. If you don't talk about the moon with that kind of shot, you're fired. You're done. You're back to the minors.
Well, it's a full moon mentality here for Centennial. Is anything can happen right here, and that's the way they have it here in the 6th.
Riley O'Connell here. Cochran's on at first, off the handle, fouled away. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Connell tonight grounded back to the pitcher and struck out looking back in the 4th inning. Well, the rally starts here for Centennial here in the 6th with a runner on, and that's the way to start. If you can keep it going, that's the only deal here. Rothenberger ready, rocks back, 1-1, foul back, now 1-2 with Gilmore on deck.
I say that with the moon as well because my better half is always on me with that moon. So Jim seems to have an edge on your knowledge profile when it comes to moon discussion. Well, or she'll say, that's a different type of moon, and that is a strikeout.
She knows her moon phrase. There's 1-2 pitch, and O'Connell goes down looking. 1 down. Although I did get my waxing and my waning mixed up there, so I'm a little embarrassed. Lily Gilmore now will bat. That's the 8th strikeout of the game for Marissa Rothenberger. And Gilmore now bats, reached on an error. was stranded. And then a strikeout back in the fourth. 0 for 2 tonight. One down, runner on. Lays down a bunt, forcing Rothenberger to make the play. Over to cover at first is Heltemus, and a throw to third. Runner will be safe there. So Cochran advances all the way to third, but now 2 down.
I like that play by Cochran. I love the bunt back-to-back. You got to shake it up. It's not working right now for you. Stringing up, coming up there, and not giving that pitcher any other look or the fielders any other look, even if it's a fake bunt. So that bunt was just huge. They got the runner over to third, but the hustle, outright sprint by Cochran to go from first to third on that bunt, outstanding.
Renslow now bats here for Champlin Park, or excuse me, for Centennial, and the pitch is up high.
Right now, hey, you got 1 inning left. You have 2 outs after this, but you got to change that number. That's got to be the mentality of how can we change it from that 1 we picked up in that first inning.
Renslow has 1 of the 4 hits, just 4 hits given up by Rothenberger in the game here, and she takes low, 2 balls and no strikes. A young sophomore catcher, 1 for 2 tonight.
That was a nice pitch. That's like she threw a medicine ball. That ball just dropped at the end of the pitch.
2 balls and no strikes. On the ground to third, gobbled up Remmler. Throw across the diamond in time for the out. Nice play by Remmler. And Centennial retired. They're down here in the top of the 6th. They get a hit, but they leave that runner at third base. We move to the bottom of the 6th. We played 5.5 and still a 5-1 score.
Good look here, but there was a great footwork by Remmler. Soft hands on that mitt. Able to come up clean without a bobble on a cold night, and she fires over. Then you get a look at the Rebel schedule coming up as Andover tomorrow night right here. Andover with their win this afternoon, now 7-0. Brings that record here to the Rebels. And then they take on Elk River on the 25th. Brainerd on the 26th. And then on the 30th, it's St. Michael Albertville. They traveled there along with a trip to Coon Rapids on May 2nd for the Rebels. You can see some are happy with the choice of music in the outfield there for Centennial.
I'm not happy with the choice of who's singing it, though. I mean, you don't play Fishing in the Dark by somebody else other than the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. It's very possible they didn't get the copyright clearance to play Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. That is the only reason. That's the only excuse I'm going to allow. Be this way. Being a connoisseur of country music.
Yes.
The only reason I want to hear a version other than Nitty Gritty Dirt Band of Fishing in the Dark is that they didn't get the copyright clearance. And BMI or ASCAP told them.
That's right.
And said, you know what? You don't have clearance. You don't have the rights to play Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
God. Hey, and QCTV coming up tomorrow. Anoka versus Andover. I'll have that game for you. That'll be a great matchup. And then you have Champlin Park versus Andover boys lacrosse on the 29th. And, of course, May 2nd, Rogers versus Anoka softball. And then girls lacrosse once again on May 6th, Spring Lake Park versus Champlin Park here. Well, here on QCTV. And we get a look here. Bottom of the 6th. Can the Rebels extend their lead, Jim?
Well, they lead at 5-1. I don't know if they have to extend the lead the way that Rothenberger is pitching, but it's never a bad thing to add some insurance. And Riley O'Connell is on the rubber and in the circle trying to prevent that from happening as she delivers here to the left-handed swinging Hannah Hewsome. And it's ball 1, 1-0. Hewsome's had an active night, grounded to the pitcher, a single, and was hit by a pitch. Took one in the ribs. 1-0. This is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Parent and Rimler due up here for the Rebels.
Yeah, and Hewsome made her pay for that hit pitch on the big clutch double by Parent, which scored both she and Cottsmith.
2-0 pitch. That miss. 3-0.
5-1 here as Champlin Park trying to stack some wins.
8 hits now in the game coming into this inning. Hit the other way. Shortstop Welly. Does she have time? No. It'll be an infield hit. Hewsome has her 2nd hit of the game and 9th hit of the game here for Champlin Park. Leadoff runner is on. Hewsome's down at first for Ava Parent, who's had a nice game. A walk, couple of hits, 2 runs batted in. 9 RBIs now in the season. Good piece of hitting there by Hewsome. Went the other way and just so deep in the hole, nothing Welly could do with it. She came up with it nicely, just nothing she could do with it. So with 9 hits now for Champlin Park, Ava Parent, who has 2 of those hits, will step in. O'Connell's up high, ball 1.
She came in hitting 400 on the season. That average will certainly rise.
Yeah.
And her on-base percentage was 455, and she's 3 for 3.
Yeah, she's now 10 for 22. Technically 2 for 2 tonight with the walk. 1-0 pitch, slow, 2-0.
They call that one a strike.
Check that, 1-1.
But hey, I like the look. Sometimes a fake bunt, you want to see where everybody is. Then maybe you can bring in third, move someone over closer to second, create a bigger gap.
1-1 delivery popped up over the screen on a play. 1 ball and 2 strikes, lands behind us.
Hey, interesting to see what kind of a pitch she's going to get here. And Parent, as she has pulled that double down the left field line last time up.
Hewsom's the runner over at first. Hemming is the first baseman playing in front of her. This one's hit well to left. Seidenkranz back, and that one also to the base of the wall. Hewsom had to hold up a little bit, so she'll pull in at third, and it's back-to-back doubles. What a game tonight for Ava Parent. 3 for 3, 2 doubles, and now she's on at second base, second and third with nobody out for Centennial, for Champlin Park.
Well, she's seeing the ball so well. Caught that ball right out in front of home plate, turned on the pitch that was going to be coming in on her hands, but she got to that ball and attacked it before it could move late into her hands instead, and took this one off the wall, rattled the cage.
Ava has 2 home runs on the season. If we had a warmer night, this one's going to go all the way back to the screen, but it takes a friendly bounce for the catcher, Renslow.
And you're right,
the
Jim.
runners won't be able to move up. It'll just be a ball. But like I said, and I think we were leading right into that. If it's a warmer day here today, there's a chance that those balls are out of here.
Yep. That second one had a good chance to go yard. But again, she had some great top spin on that too. It's a good hand speed.
1-0 pitch. This one's down the line, foul. Couple of feet left of the left field line here as Remler rips it down. And right now, they are getting good swings here against Riley O'Connell with 2 on, second and third, nobody out, 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Hussam's done a good job of kind of setting the table, making sure she's on base. She's been successful.
10 hits in the game now for the Rebels. 1-1 to Remler, and she will take a ball.
Boy, tried to sneak that one just under the garage door there, and just right on the outside part of the plate. Didn't get the call. 2-1.
2 balls and 1 strike. Abrahamson on deck. Connell just looking for an out here. Rebels threatening for more on the outside corner. Gets the call there. 2-2.
She's been hanging on that outside part of the plate. That's usually when she wants to kind of bring it in on the hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kind of gets them hypnotized, looking out on the corner.
2-2 to the plate towards right center, and that one's going to fall in. Hewsom has scored. Stopping at third is Parent. And it's 6-1 Champlin Park. And now they got the runner trapped between first and second. Runner at third, Parent is thinking about trying to make a move, but she'll stop, and they'll just chase the runner back to first. So Remler, RBI base hit, second run bat into the season. She now has a second run bat into the game. She now has 11 on the season. Hewsom scored easily, and it's now 6-1 here, Champlin Park.
Yeah, O'Connell brought this pitch with too much of the ball over the outside part of that plate. In fact, most of that ball was over the plate on the outside part, but nice job of hitting by Rambler, not trying to do too much and pull it. She just tried to get the bat head out, which she did. A nice little flare in the center field and an RBI.
Still nobody out. First and third pulled foul by Abrahamson. And Champlin Park really getting some good swings in here in the 6th inning. It's 1 strike here to Abrahamson. An RBI base hit back in the first. Fielder's choice struck out in the 4th.
6-1 lead here, and right now the Rebels hitting on all cylinders, defensively and also hitting wise.
Pitch is low. 11 hits now in the game for Champlin Park. They had 12 hits in their game and that win at Totino on Thursday. 1 ball and 1 strike. Still nobody out. O'Connell to the plate. Rise ball there. Throw down, cutting it off short is the shortstop. And it'll be, he still gave her a stolen base on that.
Yep.
But the play there was they weren't going to try and get her out, trying to see if that runner at third was going to go. She did not. Parent stays put. So now second and third in a 1-2 count.
Good chance here for a 211 hitter to get some confidence going as well.
Rothenberger's on deck. Popped up. Again foul. Stays here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Centennial in the top of the 7th will have their 8, 9, and then top of the order.
See who they may bring for some pinch hitters. See if they can find a spark.
But Champlin Park adding some insurance here, adding to their lead, 6-1, threatening for more. Swing and a miss, struck her out. So Abrahamson goes down swinging. Second time she has struck out tonight. That is the first out of the inning here. O'Connell battling her way and getting a big out there, her 7th strikeout of the game.
Heavy pitch that time by O'Connell. And Abrahamson swings over the top. So with 1 out now, runners second and third.
Rothenberger's the batter. RBI single back in the third. She's 1 for 3. Swings to the first one here. It's through the hole and into left field. That'll score Perrin. Remler will round, and that got through the fielder. All the way back to the fence. Heading to third and sliding in is Rothenberger. 2 runs in. It's 8-1.
Well, if they cannot retire here, the Rebels, they may not get an at-bat.
Well, there's still just 1 out. I'd like to see the replay on that. Is that a double and an error?
Yes. That would be
It's hard to
a
tell
single
from this
and
angle.
a 2-base error.
Yeah.
It took I don't know if it's a bad hop or it went right off the foot or the shin of the left fielder.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. It'll be a single. And then 2-base error. Rothenberger goes to third. 3 runs in here in this inning.
Eltimus has a duck on a pond here, just a chance to run around third, no outs.
3 runs, 4 hits, and an error now in the inning. With the runner over at third, in the air to right. Gilmore waits for it, makes the catch. Wynn, who's running, comes in and scores.
Nice slide, very nice slide.
That's Layla Wynn, who is the courtesy runner. She wears number 0. She's the designated courtesy runner for the pitcher, Rothenberger.
That was a gun from right field, perfect 1 hop. And a beautiful slide.
Rothenberger scores to make it a 9-1 score. And now Coach Woodley is having a talk with both of the umpires. Here's the replay of that sacrifice fly. Goes a sacrifice fly for Heltemus.
Maybe they felt she needs to be able to catch her, give her some portion of the plate to slide. That's it was pretty well covered coming in. But that throw from right field was a dime.
Abby Andrews, the due batter here. Base is now empty, and she hits it. Oh, nice short hop there by Arndt at second. Throw to first to get Andrews and retire Champlin Park here in the bottom of the 6th, but they strike for 4 more. 4 hits, 4 runs, an error, and nobody left on here in the 6th. 1 more chance here for Centennial, but Champlin Park has added to their lead as we go to the 7th. It's 9-1. Last chance here for Centennial as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Riley O'Connell, one of those runs in the last inning will be unearned. Her line, 6 innings, 9 runs, 8 earned, and 12 hits here tonight for Champlin Park. It's Centennial, top of the 7th inning. Allison Hemming leading it off. Cut off at third by Remler. And a throw to first, 1 down. Hemming retired in a 5-3 scoring play. 1 out in the inning. Nice job in the left side of that infield. Cottsmith and Remler have both had good games here tonight. 1 down, the number 9 hitter, Dory Arndt.
Look here, go.
Just 4 hits given up by Rothenberger here tonight. She struck out 7, walked a couple. Arndt tonight fouled out and struck out. And it's 1 strike here to her. Top of the order is on deck, Peyton Corbin. In the top of the 7th, bunt attempt, foul. Nothing in 2.
Yeah, you could just see, like the good pitchers do, they just get better and stronger as the game gets longer. And she has done just that. Roethlisberger, as I tell you, they've been trying to bunt just to try to get on base and try to change the tempo.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Went up the ladder on 0-2, got her to chase. Arndt goes down. And now Centennial down to their last out. That's strikeout number 9 of the game.
That's what I had too, 9. And let's see what they can do here, Centennial, to keep this alive.
Peyton Corbin, single, one of the 4 hits, scored the only run of the game here. It's 9-1 Champlin Park.
They had the lead in that first inning, right?
And had a chance for more. They had runners at second and third and could not get anybody more across. Last out here for Centennial. Less chance, and Corbin will take a ball, 1-0. If she gets on, Welly would extend it. And it's called a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0. Corbin hitting .381 coming into the game tonight. Inside out swing to the right side and foul.
Some off speed there. Changeup.
2 balls and 1 strike. I mean, the top of the order for Centennial, top hitters, .381, .364, .429, .304, .333. Top 3 hitters really having a good season here, but they've only been able to get 4 base hits here against Marissa Rothenberger here tonight, who, after having some struggles early, really did settle in. At one point, she retired 8 in a row. And now is a 3-1 count to Peyton Corbin. Base is empty with 2 down. 3-1 pitch. It's a strike on the outside part. Hit the black. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Centennial down to their final strike, and it's fouled back. Again, off of the screen. It'll ride along here at 3-2.
Well, it's certainly probably the tipping point of the game. Maybe the visit. The discussion, the conversation by
Great
Coach Woodley.
Out. 3-2 pitch in the air, right side. Heltemus, the second baseman, goes out, reaches for it, and it'll be behind her. It'll be a little bloop base hit for Peyton Corbin. 5th hit given up here tonight for Rothenberger. And that continues and extends the game here with a 2-out base runner in the top of the 7th for Centennial, and Maddie Welly will bat.
Yeah, she looked like she was having some trouble seeing that at second base from the point of contact.
Welly has a hit tonight and a walk. Takes a strike, 1 strike.
Oh, she pulled the string on her on that first pitch. She was not thinking that thing was going to be off speed or change up. She got it.
1 strike pitch.
Richardson comes back with some
And there
heat.
goes the runner, and she'll be in with a stolen base. Pitch was a ball. I didn't call a strike on that, I don't believe.
He
One
did
ball
not.
and one strike. 1-1 here to Welly. Seidenkrantz is in the on-deck circle here with the left-handed swinging Welly. Slapped a base hit back in the first, one of the 5 hits for Centennial. Sees this one over on the outside part of the plate, takes a strike, and it's 1-2. So again, Centennial down to their final strike, 2 down, trailing it here 9-1 in the top of the 7th. Corbin on at second. 1-2 from Rothenberger. And push foul towards the Champlin Park dugout this time, and still 1-2.
Look here is ready to cap it, coming in from center.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and that's a called strike 3. Rothenberger gets Welly looking, and that's it for Centennial in the top of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 1. And your final score here tonight from Champlin Park High School, the Rebels 9, Centennial Cougars 1. Here in this one tonight, Rothenberger gets the win. 7-inning complete game victory, just the 1 run. It was unearned. Scattered 5 hits, 9 strikeouts. She walked 3. Rothenberger goes to 3-2 on the season. Taking the loss, Riley O'Connell went all 6 innings, 9 runs, 8 earned, gave up 12 hits. She struck out 7, walked 3, also hit a batter in the game here tonight. For Champlin Park, 9 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors. They leave 8. And for Centennial, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, and they leave 6. 9-1, Joe. Big win here for Champlin Park. They're a team. I talked to Brian Woodley before the game. They are a team that they want to contend for the conference. They want to be there in the end for Section 5. And this one here tonight, 9-1, is certainly going to open up some eyes and raise some eyebrows for people who are observing these games.
Hey, timely hitting. 4 runs come from 2 out hits, key hits. That got him up early, and the pitching by Rothenberger was filthy on tonight as she picks up her 3rd win of the season.
All right, Champlin Park 5-2, now 4-2 in the conference. Again, they'll get Andover here tomorrow night at 7, then at Elk River on Thursday, at Brainerd on Friday. Centennial falls to 5-4, 4-2 in the conference. They'll host Rogers on Thursday. That'll be a night game. They'll play that under the lights at Lexington Memorial Park. They don't have lights at their high school field, but at Lexington Memorial Park they do. They played home games also at the National Sports Center, and then they're at Elk River coming up on Friday. For our entire staff, for Joe, I'm Jim Erickson. Again, your final here tonight, 9-1 Champlin Park over Centennial. You've been watching high school fast pitch softball on QCTV Sports.